Welcome back, guys. Today we'll be checking out She Could Fly, a documentary escape game. Okay, let's check the settings first. Okay, that's all the settings we have. Quality is high. Okay, let's start. What's welcome?
Thank you so much for joining us here to play this digital documentary escape game. I'm Christopher Cantwell, the writer of the comic She Could Fly, which inspired this game.
I'm Martin Morasso, and I'm a comic book artist. I received an email from Karen Berger asking if I was available to do a book with her, and it was like a really nice story, and the mental health issue was pretty important to me.
The idea became She Could Fly, which was the story of a woman who flew through the air, but told through the lens of a 15-year-old girl who was suffering from my exact form of OCD.
Hi, everyone. I am Karen Berger. I am the editor of She Could Fly.
Why is the video so
Luna
blurry?
is, I think, an archetype for what it's like being a teenager. That feelings of doubt and insecurity, low self-esteem, worrying about what other people think about ourselves and worrying if we're going to make the right decision, and really just trying to figure out who the hell we are. The fact that Chris has suffered from OCD since he was a young child makes the story so much more authentic.
This is a very personal story for me. So good luck, go forth, see if you can escape this game, and you might see me again knocking about in there as well.
Okay, so let's start.
Thank you so much for joining us here to play this digital documentary escape game. I'm Christopher Cantwell, the writer of the comic She Could Fly, which inspired this game.
I'm Martin Morasso, and I'm a comic book artist. I received an email from Karen Berger asking if I was available to do a book with her, and
Okay, welcome. Oh, I see. So we don't even need
Hey
the
guys,
keyboard.
how you doing? Tiger Orchid here. Good to see so many of you online, especially as I'm running a bit late today. Sorry.
Tiger Orchid.
Hey chat, what's going on? I've got my caffeine fix, got my snacks. So, we've got this new game, She Could Fly digital documentary escape game. All right, so we're gonna have to help each other out here.
More info? Okay, more info opens a freaking website. No. That website was not very helpful. Yeah, let's not click on more info anymore. Do we need a controller for this game? Didn't say that we need a controller. The controller doesn't do anything. Oh. Oh, okay, so we can actually look around, but you need to hold your mouse button down.
Right.
Great
Just getting
design.
used to this point and click and turning around, right?
It's not even point and click. The controls are just bad. Okay, so more freaking codes.
Okay, let's take a look. I love walking games, escape games, but I'm hoping there's no jump scares. Although I love horror games, I'm not that into jump scares.
You know, the only walking simulator I like is Death Stranding.
Right, so let's go through here and take a look. All right, so it's not a creepy Victoriana horror house, or... Okay, it looks nice in here, right? Not creepy at all. I think we should try the door by the pink elephant.
Pink elephant. Where the hell is a pink elephant? Oh, that pink elephant. Okay, so it's mostly art.
Okay, a pink elephant, cute.
Oh, this freaking door.
Okay, it all looks normal in here. It's a bit messy, actually. Well, look here, another comic piece. It's a piece of the She Could Fly comic book. But why would someone rip up a comic book?
It looks like someone cut it off.
Tidy your bedroom, Hannah! I mean, to be honest, I'm actually a messy person. But let's not talk about that.
You don't say. What else can I do here?
Ah! No, I'm only joking. I'm joking. Just pretend it's a jump scare. Sorry. I hope I didn't freak you out. The chat is going crazy.
Oh, there's another comics piece right here. I guess we need to
And
find
another piece of what looks like a comic.
I see, so I think we need to find all of the pieces. Oh, okay, so we're just missing one more
Okay,
piece.
here we are. It's a letter. What does it say? Poor Hannah. Yeah, I feel sorry for her. I have a heart.
I think I found the other piece. The last piece.
Nice. You found all the pieces. Maybe you can read a bit of the comic. I am just... The artwork is beautiful.
OCD is really interesting because it can present in
Okay,
so many
another
different ways.
documentary.
I think the unifying theme is it's really about a fear of causing or failing to prevent harm to yourself or to other people. And the ways in which that can show itself are really
there's
varied. So worrying about
USB.
checking things or contamination or causing harm. But the key thing is it causes people a lot of distress and takes up a significant amount of their time. It's pretty common, so about 1 to 2% of the population is estimated to have OCD.
The O part of OCD, the obsessions, are intrusive thoughts, images, urges, feelings, something that causes you extreme distress and anxiety. So they might be around the fear of harming people, the fear of being contaminated or becoming ill, the fear of acting sexually violent on somebody. They can literally be about anything, but usually they
I
are
actually
against
watch
your
my
morals or your
YouTube at
identity, or something that
times
doesn't
too
sit right with you,
speed.
something that you fear doing. And the C part of OCD, compulsions, are the things that you do in response to the intrusive thoughts to try and alleviate that anxiety. So that can be anything from physical rituals such as tapping things, counting out loud, or mental rituals like avoiding certain situations, asking for reassurance, or ruminating.
Okay. What about this one?
OCD works as a kind of
it's another
cycles. When a
video.
thought comes along, for me, I'll feel really endangered. And because of that feeling of danger, I feel like I need to do something to get rid of it. So I do compulsion. And for me, that's an internal compulsion. That, for a short term, alleviates the anxiety. It makes us feel a little bit better. But over time, it tells our brain, actually, you do need to do a little compulsion to get yourself to feel better. So we enter this cycle of experiencing intrusive thoughts, feeling endangered, needing to do a compulsion to get rid of it. So the cycle continues.
I was actually studying abroad in Melbourne, and it was probably one of the happiest times of my life. And then I just got plagued with these really terrifying intrusive thoughts. I won't go exactly into the different thoughts, but yeah, they were just really, really scary and made me fear my own mind.
I think OCD is like an overactive alarm in your head. It's like going around with radio fear on all the time. It really constrains your world, it shrinks it, and it makes you hyper-focused on things that don't matter to anyone else.
When I first realised that what I had was OCD, it was quite scary because I had a certain idea that OCD was just about cleaning because of the way I grew up. I had only ever been exposed to the idea of OCD from my obsessive compulsive cleaners. My mum and I used to watch it, and she used to always say to me, if I don't clean my room, this is what's going to happen.
What it feels like for me is that I'm in a boxing ring and there's someone else in the boxing ring and it's also me, and I'm relentlessly beating myself up and I can't keep my gloves up. I think I use that phrase a lot when things are just feeling overwhelming in my life.
I
I
don't
just
think
don't
you're
I
gonna
can't keep my gloves up, I
survive
can't
in a
keep my guard up,
boxing
and stuff
ring.
and just end up on the ropes, and I continue to feel like I'm being pummeled, right? And that my mind is being relentless with me.
Turn the page.
Obsessions
Okay,
can
I
take multiple
guess
forms, which is why sometimes hard for people
this
to realize they have OCD.
whole
Maybe someone
video
worried
game
about
is
causing an
just
accident,
a
like forgetting to turn off the stove.
freaking
It might be someone with urges
documentary.
to arrange objects in a room until they feel just right. It could be feeling the urge to compulsively urinate. And I'd say that the ones that the public seems to know more about involve obsessions with things about contamination, germs, symmetry, order, or causing inadvertent harm.
I often kind of think of intrusive thoughts as a kind of spam email. So all of us kind of get intrusive thoughts. It's not just common to OCD. So while we're walking around, we're constantly being bombarded by these spam emails. And most of the time we've got spam filters active. So we kind of, on some level, recognize that the thought we've had is not really relevant to what we're talking about right now. Occasionally, some spammy thoughts will kind of work their way through to our inbox, and they can be mislabeled as high priority. You've got to like deal with this right now. And it trips up a lot of people when they start worrying compulsively about something, that they take a sort of benign, spammy, intrusive thought and start to prioritize it and treat it like it's something that really is important and does need to be dealt with there and then.
My first memories are when I was 8 years old. My dad had just died, and I remember I started to get these really anxious feelings. And by touching things, touching door frames a set number of times, saying phrases a set number of times before I went to sleep at night, kind of took away that fear.
And that's why it's very important that people get the help at the right time. Because OCD is like a bully. It's waiting for you when you wake up. It's constantly there, nagging you, telling you to do things. And the bully tends to grow and make more and more demands as the OCD tends to grow. It gets more complicated.
Okay, let's see. Good thing they Okay, we can't actually click on this anymore. That's good.
There's pretty much always like a really meaningful link between the obsessional thoughts that people have, the thoughts of harm occurring or intrusions, and the compulsions that people do. If, for example, you have obsessions that you might stab a family member across the dining table, then the compulsion might be to sit further away from that person or to not be anywhere near a sharp knife. If your obsession was that you might blaspheme, you might do rituals of trying to push those thoughts out of your head or to pray for forgiveness.
My first experience with OCD was when my mum would go to work as a teenager. If she wasn't home by 8 p.m. every day and it was like 10 minutes late, she was 10 minutes late, I would flick switches, I'd be super anxious. And I remember one of the biggest compulsions I had as a teenager was I was doing some exercise at home and I was doing some lunges and I was counting reps in my head, and anytime I got an intrusive thought I would start the rep all over again, and the next day my knees were bruised purple because I was compulsively exercising, and that's when I knew something didn't feel quite right.
When I was
Yeah, you
12,
need
13,
more
my mum got a brain tumour,
exercise.
and my OCD kind of manifested in, again, trying to control everything, but I never knew anything about OCD during this time, absolutely nothing. It waxed and waned probably until I was like 24, and this is when I was diagnosed. I had really bad health anxiety. I was convinced I was going to die, and no one could tell me otherwise. I ended up having to go to a psychiatric hospital and stay for 3 weeks, and that's when they diagnosed me with OCD. I was
Just
doing
3
so many
weeks?
compulsions to check for illness.
Oh, there's more.
Compulsions can also involve other people. An example of that might be is reassurance seeking or excessive reassurance seeking, where people might ask their loved ones repeatedly whether their hands are clean, whether they did something inappropriate, etc. So that can become very compulsive and very time-consuming and interfering as well.
When I was 19, I looked it up, unwanted intrusive thoughts or unwanted scary thoughts, and I found out that there was a thing called OCD and there was a nickname called Puro for people like me who were experiencing these intrusive thoughts but who were only using kind of mental, invisible compulsions like thinking over and over a past event, ruminating, worrying, and seeking reassurance from others. There were people who were doing these things but not washing their hands, not counting, not tapping, not switching lights on and off.
People are often not quite sure why they're doing them, but they know that they do reduce their anxiety, and that's the first thing that they want to act on.
Okay, well, that was pretty moving stuff, and they
Just
were real
get
people,
a
right?
fidget
So
toy or
watching
something.
these films, that's gonna help us.
No.
Okay, can you hear that lock sound?
Oh, the door is open.
Someone's trying to tell us something. All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah. How do I get there? So I guess she could fly means
Sweet freedom.
she...
And I'm getting quite hungry. Maybe we can stop for some pizza or something.
Yeah, pizza is good. Always good. So these are just all arts right here?
Oh. Well, we're back. Ah, that old chestnut. We're stuck.
Or it's a freaking loop?
Okay, magpie. It's knitted. I wonder if she made it. 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, isn't it?
Okay. Guess we can click on more stuff this time.
Oh, they want us to find the comic pieces again. Oh, of course they do. Okay, all right. Let's try again.
Okay, so let's keep an eye on the comics pieces.
Okay, back where we started again. And back in the lounge. Okay, so we know what we got to do, right? Collect pieces of comic and put them on that plinth thingy.
Maybe you should go here? Oh, it's a different door this time.
Ah, a kitchen. Right. The kitchen is one of my favorite places. It's where the best parties happen.
What parties?
Okay, so it looks like these pieces are from a new set of pages.
We need more pages. Let's see. So we just need to look around, I guess. Table.
Okay, this card. Who is it from?
Not gonna read that.
How does Darth Vader like his toast? On the dark side. Sorry. Okay, one more. What did the toast say to the psychic? You read my mind.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Can't click on the freaking bread. Can't click on the toaster.
Okay, the hunger is kind of real now because I kind of feel like sweet chili crisps. There's some bread over there. I wonder if we can make some toast. Okay.
So now you want me to make some toast? Can I mess with switch light? Let's check the other room.
Oh, come on. No, no, come back, please.
Okay, it's a different game. You made it to level 2. Unfortunately, I don't think I can click on anything. Oh,
Look, I love a beanbag, but now's not the time for sitting down. Come on, let's get on with the game and we'll have some time for something else after. I don't know, what do you think? Maybe Minecraft? Forza 5? Nah, actually, I prefer 4. Maybe Forza 4.
Okay, no. Okay, there's another comic part right there. So I guess we need like 4 parts. There's nothing on the bed. Maybe a trash bin.
What does it say in this notebook? I guess it's Hannah's?
No,
I'm a failure. I'm never enough, and I let everyone down.
Yeah, that's
What?
me.
Hannah's being a bit hard on herself. Or maybe not. Maybe it's true and she's just bleakly self-aware.
What is this stain right here? Oh, I think I found. Final reminder, of course. Of course, you didn't pay your stuff. Can't mess with the bread. Maybe it's in the cupboard?
Okay, the door has got a load of writing all over it. Okay, what are you supposed to do though? Okay, what does it say?
Who cares what it say? Truth or myths? I don't see the other pages. Okay, look. Oh, I
We're
found it.
getting good at this. Well done, Team Tiger. Okay, I'm never doing that again. Let's watch these films.
Okay, let's do this. More documentary stuff.
I think what's really interesting is that from studies, we know that if you write down or get a list of all of the different intrusive thoughts that people experience, and if you ask experts to distinguish between the intrusive thoughts that someone with OCD has and the intrusive thoughts that someone that doesn't have the disorder has, we know that experts can't distinguish between them. So if we're all experiencing these intrusive thoughts and the content's not different, the thing that is different is the meaning that we give to those intrusive thoughts. I would say feeling stuck in a loop with OCD genuinely feels like hell to me. Like if I had to envision hell or purgatory, it would be a compulsion, and I just feel like every fiber of my body is burning, my hands are sweating, I feel anger, and I just feel nothing but distress. And as a result of struggling with OCD, I have struggled with some severely low moods, and it has taken me to really dark places where I would rather just not exist than be stuck in this tornado. It's like there's a hotel that I want to enter, but I'm just caught in a revolving door, and it's really frustrating because I just want to check in and I just want to get on with my day and I can't. And then all these other people are behind me, but these other people are like, all the other thoughts are now coming in, and I can't let these thoughts go through because I'm fixated on this revolving door, and it's just a blockage between my normal thoughts and me wanting to progress with my day, and I feel like I can't, and it just feels too painful.
Well, just do it.
Fear and fear responses are absolutely vital for our survival, but anxiety is as well. Anxiety is, at its core, an evolutionary adaptation to us understanding threats that may be occurring and helping us to evaluate how to take action. So my kind of fight-flight system will switch on. I feel really hypervigilant, like I need to look out for danger, like everything's going against me. Physically, that feels like my heart racing, sweating, feeling quite claustrophobic, feeling quite stuck, and needing to kind of get rid of this feeling that's horrible.
So we don't know exactly what causes OCD. It's probably a mixture of things. So genes explain probably some bits of it. The environment explains probably a lot of it, and then people's experiences can also play a role. Sometimes it's very clear. So I've seen people, for example, where their OCD involves lots of checking behavior, so they find it very difficult to leave their house. And when they were children, their house got burned down because someone forgot to turn the cooker off. Sometimes it's that obvious, and you can make that link, and it makes perfect sense why people get quite preoccupied with these kinds of things. But sometimes it's just completely random.
Yeah, and don't leave the cooker on.
Harm thoughts can be Sometimes people fear causing accidental harm. So that's where you are worried that, you might leave something like a stove on something dangerous on at home. So there's that kind of fear of accidental harm. There is the fear of people causing purposeful harm. So this can take the form that you see with Luna, where you might worry or have thoughts. You might just have these images of harming people that you love the most in the most gruesome ways.
Or that you're going to be to blame for like a mass incident of harm, or that you have harm, so that you see a newspaper article that says there's been a school murder and that you worry that you were somehow involved or somehow to blame or somehow caused it.
OCD seems to turn what the sufferer finds most objectionable into obsessions, then vilifies the sufferer for having them. So people with OCD are naturally people of good conscience. Because the disorder leads them to doubt their goodness, they perform rituals to compensate for any badness and to prove their obsessions are not intended.
I think the important thing to really understand is that OCD is the opposite of who you are. So it's the opposite of the values that you hold. It would be the loving parents that develop OCD around harming their children.
As a society, we tend to really get confused about this a lot. There's a huge difference between thinking something and doing it. And this is what scares a lot of people with OCD. Just because I've had a thought, does that mean I either want to do it or might be capable of doing it or have actually done it and I can't remember?
So no one with OCD has ever been found to actually act upon their compulsions and obsessions and do something really bad. It's just that they're so fearful of that thing that they feel like they need to do everything in their power to make sure it doesn't happen.
The reason why I want to work with people with OCD is that they tend to be the kindest and best people in the world because they are so afraid of any harm. They're always nice and gentle people and wonderful to work with. So that's the common theme you see.
Oh, we have more?
Stigma is grounded in the stereotypes of society, and stigma involves sort of separating others from us, and it can lead to distancing. So when people think that they don't want to be friends or neighbors or work with people of a certain group, and that can lead to large-scale inequality.
There's nothing positive about being OCD. OCD is debilitating and it steals people's lives away from them. And so when there's OCD jokes are made, it really kind of trivializes the severity of the condition and it perpetuates the stigma, and it makes it much more difficult for people to open up and to talk about OCD and to seek help for their problems. Helping decrease stigma is massively important.
Okay, so I think we're done here. So if you want to play this documentary game, I'll put the link in the description. So like and subscribe. See you again next time. Bye guys.